Yes. Have another tire side chat for you today. I want to talk about passwords, and specifically, well, there's two kinds. I'm not talking about the password you enter to get in your email or things like that. I want to talk about something called supervisor passwords. That's what they're generally known as. They might be known by some other name, but whatever they're known as, these are passwords that you enter, that you have to go into the setup screen of your computer and enter, and then confirm it, of course. And then after that, every time you start the computer, in order to do anything at all on that computer, you have to enter that password again. And so these BIOS passwords or supervisor passwords can make your machine pretty much, well, I wouldn't say impregnable, but it makes it a lot harder for people to just casually steal your laptop and then get the data off of it. And so that's good. That's the good part of it. The bad part of it is that if you forget that password, then you are toast, because you cannot get back onto your laptop. With desktops, you generally can. Desktops generally have a jumper on the motherboard, especially, I know Dells do, all Dells do, where if you've set a supervisor password, if you short that jumper out, it just clears that password out of its memory. And so the next time you start it up, and you don't have to enter a password. You just go straight to whatever, the Windows desktop or whatever, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do. But on laptops, it's a different story. HPs, as far as I know, are completely impregnable. You cannot do anything about supervisor passwords on those. Toshiba's, there's a few models of their laptops, mostly older ones, where there are a couple pins that you can short a couple pins on the bottom of the laptop motherboard, and that will erase those. You just have to make your own little metal jumper. ThinkPads require some kind of electronic. I've got a little electronic device that allows me to do that. It's still not an easy process. It usually requires disassembling the laptop to get to the chip where the password information is stored. And so it's still not something that your average computer user is going to do. And even some ThinkPad models you cannot do that. They are impregnable as well. So you really need to think about what you're doing when you're setting a BIOS password. What I find to be the norm, you would think, well, I have this laptop, typical user. I have a laptop, I've set a BIOS password on it, I use it every day. How am I possibly going to forget a BIOS password? Well, you forget the BIOS password when you buy a new computer, and you take that computer and you put it in the closet, as many people are wont to do. And then a couple years later, you realize that you've left something, you're looking for a file or whatever. And you say, you know what, I bet I left all that stuff on my old laptop, and I'm so smart that I saved that laptop. Now I'm going to get that laptop out, I'm going to fire it up, I'm going to find that file. And then you realize it's been 2 years and you have no idea what that password was. You try every password you can think of, but you can't find it, and then that's when you get messed up. Another situation could be people have told me this. I don't really believe it. Their kids did it. Their grandson got on their computer and messed it up. I mean, it'd be a pretty smart grandson. It's not something you do by just banging on some keys, believe me. Yeah, but nothing's out of the realm of impossibility with a laptop. So you really do want to think about that. Windows passwords are not as bad. Windows login passwords are not as bad. Through Windows 7, they are easily defeated, which is why I generally don't advise people to put a password on their laptop, the Windows login password on their laptop. What's the point? I mean, I've got a program that'll clear a password in 90 seconds. And it's readily available on the net. If you Google it, you'll find it. If you just take a little time and you'll find it, and then you won't have a password anymore. So people are going to get on your computer. I mean, it'll slow somebody down for about 10 minutes. Even Windows 8 and Windows 10, if you have a Microsoft account and you have a password, then that is unbreakable there, because it's not stored on the computer anywhere to clear. However, it's not at all hard to create another administrator account from the command prompt, and there's a way to do that. I'm not going to explain it right here, but you can create another administrator account, and you cannot load that user that has the password on it, but you can get all the information quite easily. I mean, you load up your second administrator account, you boot up into that, you log in into that administrator account, and then you go to the file manager, and then you click on users, and then you click on the account that you're looking to get the info out of. And after it does all the permissions, boom, you've got access to every last file that's in there. So, you can't actually get the password, but you can get what you want. And, yeah, there's all kinds of ways to get at data if you want to. I mean, quite honestly, even if you have a supervisor password and a Windows password, and somebody wants the info on your machine, all they really have to do is take your machine, take the hard drive out, and put it in a USB holder, and then get all the stuff anyway. The only way to stop that is to set a hard drive password, and that is, if you have any kind of trouble with passwords, you do not want to set a hard drive password at all, because that is unbreakable, and you'll never get the data back. You'll be looking at your hard drive and saying, gosh, I wish I could get these files off here, and you won't be able to ever again. And so, anyway, my suggestion is this: don't set passwords like that. Just don't. If you've got something that's really valuable on your computer and it has to stay there, get a program that encrypts individual files, and write the password down for that somewhere and keep it somewhere safe that you can always find it. That's what I do. I encrypt my files, and then I back up those encrypted files to my cloud storage drive, and that's how I keep my stuff safe. Anything that needs to be kept safe can be kept safe that way. And that way, I mean, most people don't have hardly any real amount of data on their hard drives anyway. It's not difficult. Xcrypt is the name of the program if you want to get that. It's a very capable program. Yeah, and you can encrypt individual files, or you can actually encrypt entire folders, which is nice. So you can just take your whole My Documents folder and encrypt it. If that's what you can, or you can just encrypt the files that you don't want to have anybody mess with. And it's 128 key encryption. It's not, unless the NSA wants you for something, don't worry about it. So anyway, those are my thoughts on passwords, on supervisor passwords and Windows login passwords. Your mileage may vary. You may agree or you may not agree. If you don't agree, I'd love to hear why. Comment in the comment section below. And if you enjoy these, please like and subscribe. We're really, working from home now. I have a little bit more time to sit down and think about things while I'm working on computers. It's a much more relaxed environment, and so I get more ideas all the time. If you have any ideas, if there's something that you want to know about, and you want it broken down into easy to understand English, I'll be happy to do that for you too, because I'm all about clear communication. So if you need any work done, please give us a call, 919-518-6649, or local to Oxford, 919-693-5580. You can find us on Facebook. Just search for Leacris Computers, Leacris space computers. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching.